Hi guys, my name is Bex, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing to you my August wrap-up. Has been and gone, and it was a busy reading month. This month I participated in the Newt's Magical Readathon, and I loved every second of this magical readathon that was created by G from Book Growth. I will leave a link to G's original videos down below, as well as my TBR and my vlogs throughout the experience. Now, I was supposed to vlog 4 vlogs up for you guys, but I didn't. I had 2 up, so I'll leave them down below, and I hope you enjoy them. They're a little bit out of my comfort zone, but they were very fun to do. With that being said, let's get into the books that I read, starting with the stats. So in the month of August, I read a total of 8 things, which added up to be 1,926 pages. 4 of these were graphic novels, 2 were audiobooks, and 2 were physical books. And the genre makeup was 3 fantasy, 2 sci-fi, 2 superhero, and 1 contemporary. This month the ratings were really split. I had 2-star all the way up to 5 stars, and I'm not going to get into the details of that. Let's jump into the books first. To my favourite read of the month. So during the Newts, I managed to complete 2 subjects all the way to outstanding. So I finished Care of Magical Creatures, Acceptable, Exceeds Expectations, and Outstanding, as well as Transfiguration. I also took the subject Charms and Herbology, and I only finished the acceptable level for both of those subjects, but overall I'm pretty sure I passed my Newts, and I'm really excited to tell you about the books that I read for each subject. Started with my least favourite book. It was Hawkeye Volume 1, My Life as a Weapon by Matt Fraction. This was my 2-star read of the month, and it was the acceptable for Transfiguration. I really didn't like this graphic novel. I thought the art style was not very pleasing to my eye, as well as this story was just a little bit all over the place. It didn't make an impact on me. It's really forgettable. It was a really forgettable novel, and I can't see myself continuing on, which is really disappointing because Hawkeye is one of my favourite Marvel characters, as you may know, and I feel like he's a really underrated character, but this didn't make him any more overrated, if you know what I'm saying. Basically follows Hawkeye and what he is doing when he is not being a part of the Avengers, and let's be honest, he's not doing anything really exciting. The next book I'm going to talk to you about is Dark Horses by Cecily von Zegazar. This book is a 2.5-star read for me, and it was my acceptable level for Care of Magical Creatures because there was a horse on the front. This book was really different. Let's call it different. It follows a girl who tanks her SAT, she runs away, she gets drunk, she takes a lot of drugs, and her parents put her into this facility. It was kind of like a rehab facility, but where they're kind of partnered with a horse. They kind of look after the horse, and then they get to, you know, bond with another creature, I guess. It's interesting. The story kind of flows on from there, but it was a really twisted kind of story in my opinion. Characters were pretty unlikable, and there's a perspective in here of the horse which was different, and the horse was kind of fixated with the main character, and it was just a little bit twisted, and I don't think I really liked it. It was an okay book. I liked the premise. I thought it was going to be a really intriguing one, but it just kind of fell a little bit short and fell a little bit in the weird section for me. The next book I'm going to talk about is Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan, and this was my 3.5-star read of the month, so we're getting up there. I really enjoyed this. This was my outstanding for Care of Magical Creatures. It was supposed to be a book with the dragons in it, and throughout the Percy Jackson series there are dragons, so winning. It follows from Percy Jackson in the first 2 books in the series, and this one is kind of them where a character has been taken and they're trying to find this character, and it's just really fun. I like this middle grade series. I think it's a really entertaining read. I think this series gets better and better as it goes along, and this one definitely did, because I think I only gave 3 stars to the first 2 books, if not a little bit lower, and this one's I definitely enjoyed this more, especially because I didn't know the story. Because Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief and the Sea of Monsters, I'd seen the movie, so I kind of knew where the story was going, but this one I had no idea, and I loved getting into the story and kind of being surprised on where it was going to go, and I loved the new characters that were introduced, and it was just a good time. It was a good, fun read, and I'm excited to keep going on my reread. This is one of my audiobooks for the month, and I'm loving going through the audiobooks every month. I definitely will be picking up the next one next month, and I'm hoping this series finishes off really well, because it's definitely getting up there. Now we are coming into my 4-star reads of the month, and my first one was Saga Volume 7 by Brian K. Vaughan. This was my acceptable for Herbology because it had green on the cover, and really enjoyable. Saga is kind of like a Romeo and Juliet retelling but in space, and the two main characters had a baby and it's hybrid and everyone's trying to kill them all, and it's just a lot of fun. It's entertaining, it's crude, but it kind of gets a little bit more emotional and it's getting more and more family driven, and it's just always unexpected, and I really liked this one. The art style in this graphic novel is just so fun, and it always keeps me guessing, so I'm excited to continue on this series. Which brings me to the next book, Saga Volume 8. This was my Exceeds Expectation for Care of Magical Creatures. Another really good book. I could talk about them together, but I'm not going to because I definitely loved Volume 8 more than I loved Volume 7. Through every book, it just keeps getting better and better, and the stakes keep getting higher. I know they touched on abortion in this one. I can't get enough of this series, and I can't wait to get Volume 9 in my hands, which comes out, I think, in the next couple months. I'm not sure when, but I'm definitely going to get it as soon as it comes out. Okay guys, so we are slowly getting to the top of the list, and the next one is basically my third favorite read of the month. It was still a 4 stars, but it was Mirage by Sumaya Daud. This one's kind of been pitched as like the Moroccan culture in space, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It follows our main character Amani, who is 18-year-old and has been taken from her home by the Vathek Empire, and she is basically used as a body double to the cruel Princess Maram. Now, Amani is stripped of her culture, of her heritage, and of her name. She goes into dangerous situations for the princess, so if something happens to Amani, the princess isn't dead. It was a really good read. I really liked the rich culture that was in this and the amazing world building. My favorite part of this read was the world building. I did have a few problems, which is why it isn't higher than a 4 star. I almost put it as a 4.5 star, but when I finished my review, I just couldn't do it. I'll leave a link to my review down below if you want my non-spoilery thoughts in a more detailed way. But basically, I did have a problem with the character kind of losing her way. The romance in this story kind of took over from the plot, and it just dragged out a little bit, and I felt like our main character Amani kind of lost what she was fighting for at the time. I think this is a really good debut novel, and I think this series is just going to get better and better. I didn't know this was not a standalone, so there is another book coming on this one, and I only know that because of the ending. But it was a really enjoyable read, and thank you very much to Hachette for giving this one to me because I really loved it, and I can't wait to see where it goes in the next one because I definitely think it's gonna just knock it out of the park. And Mirage was my outstanding for Transfiguration, which is kind of interesting considering our main character kind of went through a transformation. Okay, my second favorite read of the month is here, guys, and it was a 5 out of 5 stars. It was also a reread on audiobook, and that was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I love The Raven Boys. The Raven Boys, if you haven't heard what it's about, it follows Blue, who has been told her whole life that she will kill the love of her life with her first kiss, which is, you know, a little bit much to tell a 15, 16-year-old. Her family is full of psychics, but somehow her world collides with the Raven Boys, which are a group of 4 friends who are looking for this Welsh king who they have been looking for a very long time, and Blue kind of goes on this adventure with them. This is a really good adventure story. The writing is lyrical and beautiful, and I really loved it. The whole series is great, and basically I did a reread because I have been asked by Cassie to join the Sassy Book Club for August, and we will have the live show for that. I'll leave a link to Cassie's announcement down below so you can go check when it is in your time zone, but I will be joining her for this one, and I'm excited to talk about it with some amazing other booktubers. And this also completed my Acceptable for Charms, so 2 birds, 1 stone. I really like The Raven Boys. It's actually my favorite book of the series, so if you're looking for just a good friendship surrounded adventure novel, this one's for you. And lastly, another one of my 5 out of 5 star reads for the month, Spider-Man and Deadpool Volume 1, Isn't It Romantic? And God, this was great. This was funny. This was entertaining. It still had like the crudeness that Deadpool brings, but also the friendship vibes Spider-Man brings. It basically takes place where Deadpool wants to kill Peter Parker, but he doesn't know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and it goes from there, and he basically thinks the only way to get to Peter Parker is to get to Spider-Man, and it's just really good. I really enjoyed this. Deadpool's trying to be like the good guy and show Spider-Man that he can be a good guy, and it's just funny. It was a quick read, and it also completed the challenge of my Exceeds Expectation for Transfiguration. I would highly recommend this one. This one is my favorite read of Marvel. Like, this is the best Marvel comic that I've ever read. The graphics are amazing, the dialogue combines really well with it, and I just couldn't get enough of it, and I've ordered the second volume already because I want to read more of Spider-Man and Deadpool. And that is it for me today, guys. Those are the 8 books that I read in the month of August, and I really enjoyed my read. It didn't feel like as good of a reading month as last month because I read a lot more graphic novels this month than I did last month. But I just had a good time joining the Newts, and thank you very much again to G for hosting. It was a fantastic time, and I cannot wait to do my Owls and Newts again in 2019. That's it for me today, guys. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more and have not already, and chat to me down in the comments. Let me know what books you read in the month of August, and let me know what your favorite read was of the month. I would love to hear. I make videos every Monday and Thursday, and I will see you in a new one. Bye!